Hey y'all, I'm Allison Asarch from Nashville, Tennessee.
Hey, I'm Sean Fraser from the Ritzy Kids.
This is Johnny from Rail Motor.
Hey, it's Shane from Blind Season.
Hey, it's Rob Stanier, and you can check out my music on all the streaming platforms.
Check out my latest music on all the streaming sites.
Check out my debut album on all streaming platforms.
Check out our new debut album.
Check us out on Spotify and Apple Music. And you're listening to our friends, Braggy and Curly.
My favorite fans from Australia.
You're listening to our friends, Braggy, Rossi, and Curly
on the
Unfiltered and Undiscovered podcast.
But anyway, hey there everyone, it's Curly here and welcome to episode 245 of the Unfiltered and Undiscovered podcast. We're Curly, Braggy and Rossi. We're three mates with one obsession, and that's helping you discover your very next favorite artist. Every week we bring you unfiltered conversations with independent musos from Australia and beyond, sharing the stories behind the songs and the music that you might never have found. So wherever you're listening or watching, hit like and subscribe and join our community of people that love new music. We are Australia's home of independent music discovery, and this is Unfiltered and Undiscovered. Welcome. We've got Rossi and we've got our special guest with us, John. But John, I'm going to put you on hold for a little bit. We're going to have a little bit of a chat because we need to talk about the work commitment, Rossi, of our co-host Braggy.
Yeah, what's going on there? Like, it's like, yeah, I'm not entirely sure, but work's generally not optional.
especially with his multi-digit, zero-digit paycheck that he's on with us, of course.
I know. He's getting so many zeros in his paycheck. It's incredible.
Absolutely. and every time he comes forward for collective bargaining, we just add another zero. So
that's right.
Happy with
He does. Yeah. He's a member of the wrong union.
I think so. But yeah, Braggy's travelling back from Townsville where he was on last week's show. So Braggy, drive safely, and we will see you next week with a bit of luck. So, Rossi, I need to do a footy tipping update, and it's really good that Braggy's not here because he's killing us.
Yeah, of course he is.
Yeah,
he pays attention.
Yeah, he's currently overall got 242. You're on 222, and I'm on 206. So I'm gone. I've got no chance. But I do want to do a really big shout out to Katie Brooks. She's keeping me company down the bottom of the NRL ladder. So Katie, thank you so much. We love you.
Isn't your problem that you tip St George every week?
Yes, it is. But anyway, when they get back into some form, we might. I might stand a chance in some tipping contests. So we've been listening to some new music too, Rossi.
Yeah, we have been. What
have you been listening to?
Well, this week, now I'll get my notes up because as I said, I've just come straight out of surgery. And where are we? Yeah, I have been listening to Papa Pete, who are a duo from WA, and listening to their new single Supreme, and it is as funky as all get out. Like, they describe themselves as like a funk soul bluesy act, and man, the production on it, which is done by a Grammy award-winning engineer, Jeff Ellis, sounds fantastic. It's really kind of edgy. It's very lo-fi. Lots of my favorite bit. One of my favorite bits. I love the Hammond B3 that sits in the background. But It's just, the vocal on it is stellar, absolutely stellar. It's as funky can be, and I think the guys will be very, very happy with what they've done. So it's Jules and Tony who are the two guys, and Jules wrote the song, and Tony's the guitar player and does all that sort of stuff. But man, it's fantastic. I'd highly recommend you go and have a listen to that. And it sounds authentic, which is one of the things we love.
Absolutely. What was the name again? Papa
Pete.
or
It's PAPAPEET, and they're from WA. And man, yeah, they're great. They really, really are.
All righty. I've been listening to a new track as well from Tex Perkins and Matt Walker. The song's called Maybe Tomorrow, and it's their second single leading up to a joint collaborative album called Before the Show. And Tex Perkins, lead singer of Cruel Sea, is how I know Tex. So his gravelly voice, it's instantly recognisable, but it's really dialed back on this particular song. Matt's backing vocals and instruments complement the Perkins perfectly. Their vocal harmonies, it's a bit like a meandering brook, this song. It's a 12-string guitar. It's just a good song. You feel really comfortable with this song. So lyrically, Maybe Tomorrow wrestles with quiet uncertainty and looking down the road into the unknown. But rather than anxiety, the song lands on a real sense of quiet reassurance, accepting that not every question needs an immediate answer and that resolution can wait until tomorrow. Hence the name of the song, Maybe Tomorrow. There's a really good lyric in this song, and it just pops out at you, and it's towards the back end of the song. And the lyric is, don't expect to have all the answers. Some birds sing, not everyone dances. And it's just such a beautiful turn of phrase, but it just gives you that real sense that we're all different and we all face tomorrow. And I think everyone's going to have their own meaning into this song, because to me, I think it's a real masterclass of texture, space, and the emotions really understated in this particular song. So I love it. So that's Maybe Tomorrow by Tex Perkins and Matt Walker. Get on to it.
Make the point that you like that because he's a Queenslander.
Yeah, well, and who doesn't like Cruel Sea? So
just saying, he had to move to Sydney, though. Just saying.
Yeah. Braggy did send in his review that he did. Do you want me to roll through that, Rossi?
Yeah, give us a quick run at that.
And this is an interesting one because just the day before at work, one of the guys there was talking about this particular artist when it came through to us. So Pinky Beecroft, up until the day before, I had never actually heard of the name. So the song's called It'll Be Right, and Braggy is a master wizard with the words. So I'm just going to read it as he sent it through. The sparse arrangement sounds as lonely as the song's main character. It begins with an acoustic guitar and a closed mic vocal, which almost makes you feel like you're in a tiny room with the Pinky himself. Then the band kicks in and gives some comfort to the clever but mournful lyrics, and there's real heartbreak in those words without a doubt, but also there's a sense of emotional strength. That is until the last, when everything gets stripped back to just the vocal and guitar again, so that in the end, you're not sure if the protagonist is really going to be all right. It's a great song, he says, with really fantastic lyrics. And with Pinky's two previous singles, Band of Gold and My Heart Is in a Mess, it begs the question, is the forthcoming Lonesome Wolf going to be a classic breakup album? And Braggy can't wait to hear more.
Go.
Yeah, very interesting.
Sounds like it's very much a Braggy track, doesn't it?
Oh, it does. I tell you what, he loves. When he loves some music, that's for sure. And I think Pinky's on a bit of a tour at the moment. So
yeah, Pinky's known to me. Yeah, been on the been around for a while. I think he lives in Singleton, New South Wales, actually.
Oh, truly?
Yeah. So it's another rural chap. We have a few of them around.
We do. And speaking of a rural chap, maybe not quite rural, but in the context of a capital city, maybe more of the rural. We're sitting down with Australian alt country storyteller John Stokes. He's been on the show before. Canberra-based songwriter who's lived more lives than most. Sheepyards, radios, gliders, cockpits, running marathons, and now the recording studio with Shane Nicholson. His debut album, The Catch, has just dropped, and there's 9 tracks of dirt under the nail songs about the land, the people, and the hard-earned truths that come from actually living it. So welcome back to the show, John. How are you?
Yeah, thanks for having me, Curly and Rossi. Good to be back. And yeah, I'm good, thanks. A little bit cold, but yeah, going okay.
Well, that'd be Canberra.
Yeah.
Temperature is -2 today, and we're looking at to -3 overnight.
Yeah, see, I've still got a bit of a shock from last time we were talking to you. I was just tired listening to what you get up to.
Not that
You've
much,
only-
really.
You've only just got over it.
Yeah. I'm tired now, but that's just me.
So John, let's get a bit of a catch up. So the catch is out now. So it must feel good holding the full album. You've had singles before. You've had the Bare Soul EP. But I'm inquisitive around what the title actually means. The catch.
Yeah, great question. Well, in the shearing industry, that relates to the shearing industry. So you've heard of the ringer in a shearing shed, and he's the guy that's shearing, or the girl. There's plenty of girls shearing these days. Who shears the most in a day in the shed or for the whole run. So it might go for a week or 2 weeks in one shed. Now, the catch is all about getting that last sheet before the bell goes. So shearing is broken down into an 8-hour day. We start at 7:30. We shear for 2 hours, have half an hour off for smoko. We shear for another 2 hours, then have an hour off for lunch. Same again, another 2 hours, half an hour off, and then finish at 5:30. And it's very time related. It's piece rate. So you're trying to shear as many sheep in a day as you can. And there's a clock on the board, and you are trying to, if it's 15 seconds before that bell goes and you're what we call hungry, you are entitled to run back into that catching pen and get another sheep. Yeah, so that's what it is. That's what the catch is all about. And if, say, you've got two shearers that are shearing side by side and they're shearing the same numbers, you might be just a few seconds ahead of that shearer on a blow and can get in there and get the catch, and he won't finish in time and the bell will go. He's not allowed in there. So that's how you can get that one sheep ahead of someone else.
Wow. Okay.
So that's where the catch title comes from.
Came from. Is that right?
Yeah.
Driving along up the northern top, eyes caught a glimpse of a bright shining star. Drove for 2 hours, no one inside. Guess I was in for a lonely old night. Asked myself, what was I doing? Rolling the swag and heading off sharing, leaving my family behind through these fast raging years. To wear the body for blood, sweat, and tears. Sharing easy mates, money and merit, singlets, mockies, and pushing the fair. Oh, to work so hard for a single catch. Yell sheep ho, pens getting dry back.
Came from. Is that right?
Yeah.
Which feeds into Braggy's question, Rossi, doesn't it? So Braggy sent some questions through for you, John. So even though we take the mickey out of him for not being here, he really does try and help us as well. So he asks, is there a certain rhythm to shearing a sheep that feeds into your songwriting?
Oh, that's a great question.
Well,
Shearing
look,
Well, wait to hear the end of that now. Jesus.
Yeah, I've never heard that one before.
That's a really mediocre question, said John.
Well, now that I've been asked that question, I can actually say there probably is, because it's to do with a lot of songs I write. There's always a rhythm behind it that comes from somewhere. And Shearing Sheep is all about rhythm. It's about the pattern that you shear that sheep with, and it's the timing. Mm-hmm. And you try and maintain that rhythm all day, every day. And the most successful shearers are the ones that can do that. So definitely that song is like, it's a rhythm. You know, it doesn't really change much throughout the whole course of the song.
Wow. Yeah, look, I remember I was working, when I was at university, I was having to work in a book bindery, and there were just machines going all day. And the rhythms and the polyrhythms of the machines just stuck with me all day. It got me through the day, just hearing those sounds, just the mechanical sounds as they're, countenancing, counterplaying against each other. I guess that's what you're hearing every day. Like your mind wanders. I know you got to concentrate pretty hard, otherwise you'll cut yourself with a sheep. But like anything else, fatigue, 8 hours. It's like a complete sport too. Like it's like elite athleticism.
Very much so. And I mean, whilst we might not have a 6-pack or an 8-pack. Well, some of us do, but some of us don't. It's irrelevant. You can go to the Shearers Hall of Fame in Hay in New South Wales, and there's plenty of information you can discover there about shearing sheep, but it's not uncommon to use as much energy of, say, playing 2 AFL games.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It's
over the 8 hours.
Yeah, over the 8 hours. I've been told, gee, you eat a lot, and I'm not a big person, but you burn that many calories. Yeah. When you stay away, sometimes you have the shearers cook, and for lunch you can be having a full roast meal. So it's generally roast lamb, and with all the trimmings. And morning tea, there's as many sandwiches and cups of tea as you can put in your body, and the same for afternoon smoko. And then you go and have a meal at night, and sometimes you are absolutely craving for breakfast by the time it comes around.
Wow. Yeah, well, I imagine the work, that part of the work for you is, just one of the things you do, right? And of course, you're here to talk about your music. So this we can talk about this. I worked with this showbiz shearer at this place in Sydney, and he used to bring a sheep out and shear it publicly 2 times a night, right? And he'd get the sheep and he'd do a Japanese show downstairs for the dinner show, and they'd bring in a busload of Japanese tourists. And he'd plop the sheep on its back legs and get out the razor. He'd go, "No drugs used in the sheep, only in me."
Yeah.
And sometimes we'd go and share a cigarette before he started.
Yeah. Look, the thing is, I've done demonstration shearing as well.
Yeah.
It's very nerve-wracking because it's super easy to nick a sheep.
Yeah.
Your hand
it horrifies people.
Up, and you do all your combs and cutters up so that they enter the wool nice, so you shouldn't have to push. But I've done demonstration shearing. I've done it Australia Day. I've done the same thing for tourists on bus loads, and I am a bundle of nerves.
Yeah. That's utterly incredible. That is. So this time you've gone back down to Melbourne. You worked with Shane Nicholson again. Yeah.
Yeah. Look, I've been back again already. And we've got 8 songs down now towards the next album. And I was just saying to Curly off air that I've got another 3 that I've just written, and there's probably 1 extra that we didn't put on this current album last time we left off. Mm-hmm. I need to work on it more. I wrote it only a couple of weeks before we started recording, and whilst we recorded it,
not
just right, So,
you know that it's not right.
Yeah. So, well, I think Shane and I, we just sat in the studio and we listened, and I was picking the eyeballs out of it. I was just listening and going, so it's just not right, and he agreed. So I'm happy that we did that.
Yeah. So
was there anything Shane pulled out on the current album? So you've worked with him before on Crumbling Down. You've obviously got the new album. Was there anything that surprised you about what he pulled out of the songs as you wrote them and as you envisaged them?
So there's this one of the all of them. All of them. You know, the song on there, "Gone for Eternity," which is a long song, and we had to cut it. It was a journey. So that song is about my mum passing away with cancer, and it's just a cryptic journey that, you know, I went through and watching her and all that. It's there's lots of people that have dealt with it, you know, and he listened to it, the rough recording, and he said, "Mate," it's quite funny actually. He goes, "You're not Led Zeppelin. Stairway to Heaven's come and gone a long time ago. You got to learn to write shorter songs." And I've said this before, and I'll say it again. I don't have an ego, and that's why I went to Shane. Yeah, because he's such a renowned producer, and he would, I was confident he would help me. So what he did producing that song, I was gobsmacked. I can't hear what he hears. That's why they're producers. You know, you can have your own ideas about what you think you want in a song with instruments and production. But when I listened to that, I just looked at him in the studio when we finished, and I said, "Mate, this is a journey. I know it's a long song, but I really like it." And the other one too was
woke up this morning, my soul was on fire. Your words cut deep, I'm left with scars. You're waiting, praying, your train will arrive. No, I'm not ready, so don't take the ride. Your condition has spread and engulfed your mind. A painful aging life. No resolution, I will cry for a while.
And the other one too was Windless Ocean.
Okay.
I didn't play any acoustic guitar on that song. I said to Shane, it doesn't need it. And so we left it as it is. If I could play the raw song in its original form, it hasn't altered that much, but just once again, the way he produced it, and which, it's just subtle changes. It's chord progression. It's little bits of notation, and the gaps that you put in there that just blew my mind.
It's the difference between a song and a song that sounds finished. There's all these flourishes and subtleties that us mere mortals can, when you hear it, you go, of course, but these guys, they do it, right? They just bring it, right? They bring it to it, right? Yeah, I listen to a lot of interviews with producers and stuff, and it's they're all got different approaches too, mind you. Like it sounds like your relationship with Shane's pretty frank and honest, which is good, right? Yeah. Other ones just I go.
I leave it up to him. Yeah. because I, like his own music, but I like the other music, or the way he's produced other people as well. So I just definitely wouldn't want to interfere with that from my perspective anyway.
So playing live, of course you have to, do you wait until the shearing season's over and then you go out on the road, or?
Oh, no, look, I'm not doing much shearing at the moment. I'm trying to play as much as I can, but I've really had my head down and been trying to write lots of songs. And just the last 2 days I've been organising stuff for Tamworth Country Music Festival next year, trying to organise that. But I did want to dedicate a lot of this year to writing and getting ready for another album. Look, we did the music video for The Catch recently, and that's up now on the Vivo channel. And that was a lot of fun, because that demonstration hearing that I was explaining to you about before, we did that music video at those people's place. Yeah. And it was I haven't caught up with them for some time, so it was good to catch up. And Craig, who's the owner, he said, there's still sheep out the back, mate. Could you keep going? Josh and I, we've got lots of filming to do, and I had to go and have a shower because I was actually shearing the sheep. I was sure about 3 sheep or something for him, and took the belly off one, and he just kept hinting all the time, could you please, mate, just a few more. When can you come back? So I said, no, I'll definitely come.
John,
they're lovely.
It's interesting. Rossi's just picked up on playing live, because I'm listening to your music today, the whole album, and I'm not being critical with it at all, but it's not a song or it's not an album that you're going to play in a honky tonk at Nashville, right? It's quite mellow. There's a lot of space to it. So what does a live show for yourself look like?
Yeah, look, it's interesting. I was just having this discussion with another artist last night, and I made the conscious decision quite a few years ago to concentrate on my own style and what I'm happy doing. So, and that's exactly what I do when I play live. And they're heartfelt songs and they're stories, and it's listening music, and it's, Crumbling Down. Yep. People can get out and boot scoot to that for sure. But the rest of it and what's to come is similar. And I'm not afraid to do that. I think you have to be honest and genuine to yourself as to what comes out of you, and not write material just to please other people.
That's exactly right. Like, I know so many people who, you just be you, right? The most authentic version of you can be is the best thing you can be, right? Like, don't be phony, because people spot it, man. People know if someone's been a phony.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, I think you perform better when it's coming from inside rather than trying to force it.
It's got to be honest, man. It's got to be, especially with what you're writing, it's got to be heartfelt, because it is.
Yeah.
Right? And you can't fake that. You can't fake sincerity. Although, if you could, you'd make a lot of money.
Yeah. Well, when you work that out, let me know.
I'll send you the email, mate.
That'd be great.
Yeah,
I'm having a lot of fun with it. I'm starting to see that people now are genuinely interested in what I'm doing and listening. And when I do shows, they're starting to get the picture that it's come in, sit down and listen.
Yeah,
that's cool.
And the thing, I think for me, this is the icing on the cake that you've been baking, is when people come up to you after and show, gee, I really love a particular song, and they ask you about it and they connect with it. That's good fun.
Yeah, it is. It is. I can't see John singing a song about going out of town in the ute with a dog. It's the story's got a bit more depth to it. But one of the key things also in the album is just the guitar seems to be the centerpiece. So whether it's being strummed, whether it's being picked, and there's a bit of slide in there as well.
Yeah.
So you're firmly sitting in this space of old country, aren't you? That's like and once again, we don't like putting labels on people, but you seem to be really comfortable in that space. And as I said, guitar is the centerpiece. Do you play the guitar mostly through the album? Is that you?
No, Shane does a lot, and I'm mainly on my guitar. And the rest, like there's Josh Schuberth on the drums, Shane does bass. Goodness me, I'm too out of control on a guitar, because I used to play in a lot of bluesy rock bands and stuff like trying to be some, Eric Gales or Joe Satriani, and
that's right.
So I'm quite happy to say, do you want to do this? I mean, I can do it, but it's good using other people, I think, because they can put a different feel into it. So I'm quite comfortable just sitting on the acoustic guitar and doing my part on that.
You're in good company. You're in good company, man. I was listening to an interview the other day, a guy called Neil Giraldo, who's an American producer. And he did Rick Springfield's big album with Jesse's Girl and all that stuff on it. Rick Springfield played in Zoot. He's a weapon of a guitar player, but the Americans wouldn't let him play on his own record. He goes, Don't worry about the guitar, Rick. We'll do it ourselves. Thanks.
Yeah. I think it's a good attribute in a way to be able to step back.
Yeah. A lot of people, ego won't let them.
Yeah. And I'm not like that. If, the next step now is to get a small outfit together, and 2027 is to try and really push around this country the album. And I've already engaged with a few other musicians, bass players and guitarists and stuff. And I'm just really looking forward to being able to concentrate on the vocals and the acoustic guitar and let everything else happen around me. I think that's the way to go. Look, guys, you laugh. I've got 4 Marshall quad boxes, 2 heads. I've got a JCM 800 combo. They're all valve. I've got a Fender.
I know, man. I've got all of that stuff too. No one ever uses them anymore, anyway, right?
I like to blow the cobwebs out of them every now and again.
This is the main amplifier in here these days.
I know.
You don't have to be too loud anymore, man. You don't have to be.
No,
I've got a nice Fender Pro, and I went up to Sydney earlier this year and jumped in with another band. Just they were looking for a guitarist to help them out because their guitarist left, and they sent me a heap of songs, and I said, I'd love to. I thought this is a chance to crank the electric guitar up because I haven't done it.
Yeah.
And when I'd finished and we're packing up, because I was driving back from Sydney that night back to Canberra, this guy comes up and he goes, man, you just shred on that thing. And I just thought to myself, yeah, that's why I didn't play on my album.
The space will be taken up by 16th notes.
Trying to do these, stupid country licks or whatever that would be.
I get it. But man, But what Shane's done with you is, it sounds like it's where you're at, where your head's at too, man. Yeah, that's the most important thing. Yeah.
Look, I love it. I really enjoy it. It's a happy place when I go down there, and I don't have to worry about hearing cheap or spraying weeds or whatever. I can just push all that aside and spend a whole week or whatever we do down there. Yeah, he's a talented man.
Yeah, we hear it all the time about Shane. Hey, one of your songs on the album, Just Broke, seems to be there's some real subtle meanings in behind that one.
Yeah.
Give me a bit more of an understanding of where that song came from.
All right, there's a bit of a story behind this. Yeah. So the first day I went down there when we started doing this album to complete it and all that, we're in the room and Shane's listening to all the songs. I think I'd gone down there with about 15 songs, and he was taking notes. And you got to picture this. It's a bit of fanboy syndrome here because I've looked at Shane music for a long, long time. And here I am in a studio with him. And anyway, I've got my mate in Nashville guitar there, and he's put it all in the system, all the WAV music that I'd sent down, all the files. And I've just pulled my guitar out and I'm starting to play along as I'm not used to I'm outdoors every day. I'm not used to being locked up in a studio. And he's trying to listen and take notes. He takes a lot of notes, and he turns around and he goes, "Mate,
shut up.
Look, I've got a bit of stuff. He's pretty nice. He could have just told me to shut up." And he said, "I'm trying to listen to this." He goes, "Look, why don't you grab your guitar, your iPad, your notebook, head back down to the band room and write another hit song?" And like, I'm a little bloke. I looked up at him. I said, "You know what, Shane, look, but mate, I haven't even written one hit song yet." And he just smiled at me and he goes, "It's all right. They're all hit songs." So I went down. This is first thing in the morning. Like, we'd got in the studio at 6 or 7 in the morning. And I went down and sat on this beanbag, made myself a cup of tea, and I got my iPad out, because I do most of my writing, scribbling on an iPad now, because there'd be no trees left if I use paper. I'm shocking. Oh, no, that's no good. So anyway, I sat down there and I thought, you know, you've got to just write some nice, simple country tune. Your typical C to down to A minor and E, chuck a few minor chords in there and all that. So I came up with the riff that's on Just Broke, and I thought, that straight away I just thought, what am I going to write about? And I've got no idea where this thought came in my mind, but those first lines just came to me, and because I'm thinking about homeless people. And I'm not joking, I had this song written by 11 o'clock.
Okay.
The whole thing. I did a little bit of research on stuff, but, you know, that's where it came from. And
good
honest,
ones often come out quick, don't they?
Well, God, I wish I could do that every day, but
yeah,
it was quite emotional writing that song. I was quite emotional because when I started playing it and thinking about what I'd written down, and I just thought, this is about humanity. Are we really like this? You know, do we really judge people? And that's the message in this song. You know, we are all the same.
Yeah.
You know,
when you pass that stranger who's sleeping rough on the ground, wrapped up in yesterday's news, won't recycle down. What was that thought crossing your mind that made? I heard the judge already convicted, for a jury had this say. Just broke no different, just broke no different.
No, we're all the same. It doesn't matter if you're a billionaire, you're a politician, or you're on the streets camping. We are still the same people. And I'm trying to put a message out there that just treat everyone the same. You know, no one's better than anyone else. Yeah. So, yeah. So when I didn't see him all day. He works. And he messaged me and said, "Oh, look, I finished, mate. I've got all the notes down and I've got a list of songs that I think will work with. Come up to the studio." So I went up to the studio and he goes, "How'd you go? Did you write a couple of songs?" I think he was just, you know, having a bit of a joke with me. And I said, "Well, actually, I've got 1.5 down." And he looked at me and goes, "Really?" I said, "Yeah." And I said, "The second one's a bit of a funny song, but I'm happy with the riff." And I said, "Would you like to listen to the lyrics of the first song?" And he said, "Yeah, well, we're packing up." And when I'd finished reading them out to him, he goes, "Jesus, mate, that's deep." And I said, "Yeah." He goes, "Could you record that on your phone tonight so I can listen to it? Have you got the music for it?" I said, "Yeah." And he said, "Could you record it on your phone tonight and I'll listen to it in the car on the way in?" So I did that and it ended up on the album.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah, you never know where they come from, do you?
Oh, wow. Yeah, look, there's been a few like that. I've just written another one. I've been at the Dag Sheep Station Songwriters Retreat for the winter one just recently, and I collaborated with a couple of artists there, but I came home and within 3 days I'd just written this other song, and I think it's going to be okay. When Josh and I were doing the music video, in that music video, there's a part where I'm sitting around the fire. So when we were waiting for the light to get just right, that's a cameraman thing, he's waiting for the light to be just right to do the filming. I said, do you want to hear a couple of new songs I've written? And he goes, yeah, because Josh was at the Songwriters Retreat as well. And I finished this first song, and he goes, Jesus, Stokesy, I don't know what we're going to do with you. I said, what do you mean? He goes, that's a bloody good song. I said, yeah, I wrote that 2 days after coming back from the Dag Sheep Station. So I might go weeks and weeks and trying to write a song and nothing flows, and then all of a sudden, bang.
Boom.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything.
You guys, but do you, I don't try and force anything. I just let it come.
Yeah. I don't personally. I don't think there's anything more Australian than the Dags Sheep Station Songwriting Retreat.
No,
that could only happen in Australia.
Well, me being a shearer, the first time I went there, I said to Johnny, "Come, go. I'm at home here, mate. I'm at home. Do you want your sheep, Sean?" And he just looked at me. He goes, "You a shearer?" I said, "Yeah." He goes, "Oh, I'll keep that in mind."
I've got a question from Braggy here, and obviously Shane is a big sounding board for you, but who is the best one outside of Shane when you're writing something new? Who do you bounce your songs off?
Oh, there's 3 of us, really. Me, myself, and I. I'm sort of a bit of a loner, really. Yeah, I've got a couple of friends here in Canberra that I'll WhatsApp them with something new and share it with them and see what they think. But they're friends. And, friends are good friends just go, yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
And so you never really know. So I just prefer to record something here at home and send it down to Shane to listen. And look, also, Jules, the publicist from Wild Heart Publicity, I sometimes send her something and she's great. She'll just go yes or no.
Okay.
It's been drawing board a lot of the times,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's what you need, I guess, isn't it? Because you do need that person in your life that just says, no, that's wrong. You're barking up the wrong tree or whatever. Braggy's got a turn of phrase with it, so as well, doesn't he, Rossi?
Yeah, he does. And but all performers are different. All songwriters do it different ways too. I know some people just lock themselves away in a room for days on end until they're done, and then they come and go, "Here it is. I don't want to hear any complaints."
Yeah.
Yeah, don't tell me I'm wrong. John, for people that are picking you up or discovering you through the Catch, what's the one thing that you're hoping that they take away about Australian old country, your music, and I guess the life that feeds that, right? So what's the one thing that you'd want them to be taking away from the Catch?
Oh, gee, Curly, that's a tough question because I don't like talking about myself that much, really, and I'm hopeless at that promotion side of things. I guess really I would just like people to be able to relate to the songs that are on that album, and hopefully it touches people that may be out on the land that have gone through the highs and lows and can relate to them, and honestly, it's not just about me, it's about all Australian artists, and particularly artists that are trying to make it, is give them a go and have a listen to them and listen to their lyrics. And it might take 5 listens, but sometimes you can connect with an artist the more you listen.
Mm.
I definitely.
That is awesome. That is awesome. You've already talked about your next album, which I find amazing, right? You've just released one. You've got 8 songs down for the next one. And then is there another one? So this year is truly a year for songwriting for you. So you talked a little bit about Tamworth. What's your plans there?
Yeah, well, I've connected through the TSA, the Tamworth Songwriters Association, a great artist, Sandy Louise. And oh my God, the first time I heard her, I went up to her and she heard me sing. We were both playing at Hats Off in the same pub. And she came up to me and said, "Oh God, I love your music, you know." And I said, "Yeah, well, the same." So I rang her up, or I messaged her a few days ago and said, "Look, would you be interested in doing a show together, a ticketed show together at Tamworth in the listening room?" And I'm not that forward in asking people. And she got back to me and said, "Oh, thanks for reaching out. Yeah, I'd love to." So we're organising a ticketed show in the listening room. That's on the 22nd. So it's locked in. We've just got to get all the publicity sorted. Apart from that, I'm hoping I can do some guest appearances in some places. And, excuse me, in the interim, yeah, I've got a few shows, a few gigs here and there. This weekend, this is going to be fun, actually. This is right up my alley. There's a little place in New South Wales called Binder. It's north of Crookwell, north of Goulburn. And they have what they call the Binder Bacon Brew. So they have fires going and they bring the camp ovens out, and all the locals come with their home brew. I don't think I'll be sending brew. And they've asked me to go and play there. So I'm doing that this Saturday. Right. And yeah, I'd have to look on my website. I'm back up at Tamworth at the Courts on East. I think there's about 4 gigs this month to do, and then nothing really till October, which I'm happy about, unless people. There's a few managers that ring me up and say, "Could you do this?" I just want to head back down to Melbourne and jump back in the studio.
Get it done.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Get it done, yeah.
All right. So we will make sure all of your socials and all your links are in our show notes, John. But once again, congratulations on the new album. Lots of positive reviews from what we've been reading. So are you getting airplay? Is it being listened to around the world?
Yeah, look, I was totally blown away the other day. If you look at me on Spotify, I've got hardly any followers. Once again, I don't work hard at promoting myself. Being an independent artist, I need to learn more about that. But MGM, who distributed the album, emailed me 2 days ago and said Apple Music's put Windless Ocean on one of their playlists.
That's great. Really good stuff. Good work.
Great. It's a start, isn't it? And ABC Country have got me on their playlist.
Good.
Crumbling Down and The Catch both of them have received a lot of radio airplay, and I think The Catch got into AMRAP's charts.
Yeah.
So wow.
That's great. AMRAP is a much underrated resource, you know. All those community radio stations, man, they're great, those guys. And the guys who do it, they're like us. They kind of just do it because they love it, right?
Yeah, exactly. And, I've connected with Art Sound FM here in Canberra, and I just recently went into their studios for their radiothon and did a live performance, which was for the first time in any radio station in Canberra, was linked with YouTube, a live broadcast that went around the world. And
cool, man.
That's pretty new. So I played a few new songs on that one as well. And Crumbling Down made it into Country Town's top 50.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It's a while ago. And Jules emailed me because I didn't know. And she said, "John, you're not going to believe this. You just missed out. This is the week before. You've just missed out on making Country Town's top 50. She goes, this just never happens. I'm going, well, this is pretty good, It was, I don't know. Anyway, she emails me the next week. She says, "Look, I I don't want you to put anything on socials yet because it hasn't been released, but you're in the top 50 this week.
That's great.
I think it was
That's,
came in at number 48.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's great.
Yeah, so that's Shane, isn't it? Really, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, someone's got to write the songs and sing them, John. So give yourself some credit for that as well. And then full credit for Jules for the publicity and
she's
the momentum. Yeah, she is awesome.
Yeah.
All right, John, once
Congrats,
again,
mate.
awesome having you on the show. Next week, Rossi, we have Maren Davidson. She is a Norwegian singer and songwriter who blends Nordic Americana with country influences to tell stories of growth and change, both in her relationship with others and her relationship with herself. I haven't fully confirmed this one yet. So our first singer from Norway.
Have you checked her English?
She sings perfect English, so I'm hoping she speaks it. But that would be. I'm so excited if we can. We've got a confirmation, but you know we know how these things work across time zones. Sometimes they're not. I think it's about it. She's booked for next Wednesday, so I think it's about 11 o'clock in the morning in Norway when we do our show at 7 o'clock on a Wednesday night.
That's not too bad.
Fingers crossed. So for everyone, if you've enjoyed today's conversation, the best way to support independent artists like John is simple. We stream their music, buy their merchandise, go to their gigs and tell someone about them, because every great artist starts with someone willing to press play. And we beat the algorithm every time when it comes to finding your next favorite artist. Check out our playlists on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, and Amazon Music. Every damn song, fresh country artists and undiscovered covers. And all of our links for them are on our website at unfilteredandundiscovered.com. Real stories, real music, and your next favorite artist. We're Curly, Braggy, and Rossi. This has been Unfiltered and Undiscovered, and we will see you all again next week. Thanks for tuning in. Once again, thanks, John. It's been awesome.
John.
Thanks very much for having me, and hope we can do it with the next album.
Well, that's
absolutely, mate.
For this episode of the Unfiltered and Undiscovered podcast. If you've liked what you've heard, please do us a favor. Hit follow, leave a rating, and share it with a mate who needs some new music and a little bit of laughter in their lives. We're all about discovering the songs that actually mean something. So if you're into raw talent, great stories, and music that hits you right in the guts, you're in the right place, and we'd love to see you back again next week. Don't forget our Spotify playlists. Every damn song, every track we've ever talked about, rising female country artists, and undiscovered covers. And just now, they're not just available on Spotify. You'll also find them on YouTube Music and Apple Music as well. Now, we will be back next week with more music, more stories, and probably some more arguments. But that's what keeps us unfiltered. We'll see you next week.